A rocket company just offered $60 billion for a text editor. $60 billion. Bigger than most Fortune 500 companies. And it is not really for the editor. It is for something much bigger. Once you see it, you will understand why every AI lab is quietly watching this deal. In this video, I'll not just explain why Elon Musk wants Cursor. I will also walk you through how Cursor actually works under the hood. By the end, we'll see why this deal is really about who owns the future of how software gets written. Let's get started. On Tuesday, April 21st, SpaceX drops a post on X. They have signed a deal with Cursor, and inside it, there's a pretty unusual clause. SpaceX can either pay Cursor $10 billion for working together, or they can buy the whole company outright for $60 billion later this year. Their choice. Now think about the numbers. 15 months ago, Cursor was valued at $2.5 billion, then $9 billion, then $29 billion, now $60. This is not a normal growth. This is something completely different happening in the market. Companies like Nvidia, Stripe, and more than half of the Fortune 500 are paying for Cursor every month. So this is a proper business. Here's the context that makes it interesting. xAI already merged into SpaceX back in February. OpenAI was actually an early investor in Cursor. And the Musk versus Altman trial starts next week. So all of this is happening at the same moment. Now, before we talk about the deal, we need to understand what Cursor actually is. You tell Cursor, add OAuth to login flow, and it does not just suggest one line. It touches 8 files, updates your controller, changes your middleware, fixes your test, then shows you a clean diff. You click apply and it's done. This feels more like an actual engineer sitting next to you. And here's the thing, Cursor uses the same models you can use. GPT, Claude, Gemini, the same ones you already have access to. So if the model is the same, why does Cursor feel so much better? That one question is the whole secret. Think about how you work on a real code base at your job. 50,000 files, maybe more, maybe less. So when you fix a bug, you do not just sit and read the whole repo. You jump straight to the 3 files that matter. You already know where to look. And that skill, knowing what to look at, is really the whole job. Now here's the problem with AI models. The models has never seen your code, and you cannot just dump the whole repo into it because the context window is too small. Even the biggest models will choke on a real production code base. So the question becomes, how do you pick the right files to show the model every single time? That one question is the entire game, and Cursor has figured it out really well. The moment you open a project, Cursor starts reading every file in your repo, locally on your machine. It filters out the noise first. Your .git folder, node modules, build outputs. Only the actual source code moves forward. Then comes the clever part. Cursor does not just split files by line count. It uses something called TreeSitter. TreeSitter is a parser that understands code structure. So it breaks your files into real units. A function, a class, a logical block. Each chunk stays whole. Because cutting a function in the middle is useless for search. After that, Cursor builds a Merkle tree. The name sounds fancy, but the idea is simple. Every file gets a fingerprint, basically a hash. Every folder gets a fingerprint made from the files inside it, all the way up to the root. But why do this? Because the next time you change one file, only that one fingerprint changes up the tree. Cursor knows exactly what moved and what did not. It never reprocesses your whole repo, only what changed. And that is why Cursor stays fast on huge code bases. Now we have clean chunks. The next step is to make them searchable, but not by text, by meaning. Here is why. If you search for the word login, you will miss the file called authenticate.ts, which actually does the login. Text search is too literal. It only finds matching words. So Cursor converts each chunk into a vector, a list of numbers that captures the meaning of the code. Authentication code lands in one neighborhood of this number space. Payment code lands somewhere completely different, even if they never share the same words. These vectors live in Cursor's vector database, called TurboPuffer. Think of it like Google for your codebase, but the search works by meaning, not keywords. And one important detail, the raw code never leaves your machine. Only the vectors go to the server. File names are obfuscated, chunks are encrypted, and your source code stays with you. Now the repo is indexed. You type refactor the login flow to support Google Auth. Watch what happens. Cursor takes your question and turns it into a vector too. Now your question and your code live in the same number space. They can talk to each other. Then it does a nearest neighbor search. Which chunks live closest to your question? It pulls the top matches. But it does not stop there. And this is the part most people miss. Cursor then follows the code. If your auth controller is a top match, Cursor looks at what it imports, what calls it, what it calls. It spreads outward, pulling in the whole web of related code. And this is how a senior engineer thinks. You do not read files in isolation. You trace the flow. Cursor then builds a structured prompt. Your question on top, the relevant code next. Your project roles, and it sends this clean, focused brief to the model. So the model is not reading your whole repo. It is reading exactly the slice it needs. Like handing a new engineer a 3-page document instead of your whole Confluence wiki. And then comes the last piece, the execution loop. Now, most AI tools stop at, here's the code, you copy, paste, fix, and run it yourself. Cursor does not stop there. Cursor generates a diff, shows you exactly what changes, you click apply, and the edit goes in. If something breaks, Cursor reads the error and tries again. With Cursor 2.0, they went further. They added their own model called Composer, trained specifically for this job. Not just to write code, but to use tools. Search, edit, run. They trained it inside real code bases using reinforcement learning until it learned to behave like an engineer who actually ships. And this is why most Cursor tasks finish in under 30 seconds. The retrieval is fast, the model is tuned for this job, and the loop runs without holding your hand. Now you can see why this pipeline is worth $60 billion. But let us go deeper because there are 3 real reasons behind this deal. Reason 1, xAI is losing the coding war. OpenAI has Codex. Anthropic has Cloud, which right now dominates agentic coding. xAI has Grok, and honestly, nobody is reaching for Grok to write production code. That is a serious problem if your goal is to be a top-tier AI company. Cursor solves this almost overnight. They already have the product. They already have Fortune 500 customers using it every day. So buying Cursor means xAI instantly becomes a real player in the most valuable AI market. Not 5 years from now, right now. Reason number 2, and this is much bigger than one editor. Think about the AI stack today. There are 3 layers. At the bottom, infrastructure, GPUs, data centers. SpaceX already owns this. Their Colossus cluster has roughly 1 million H100 equivalent chips. In the middle, the models. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, the frontier models everyone uses. And at the top, the interface, where developers and models actually meet. Cursor, Copilot, Windsurf. Here is the important insight. Models are slowly becoming commodities. Today, there are 5 frontier models. Soon there will be 10. They will compete on price. But the interface layer is different. And that is where the developer actually lives every day. That is where the choices gets made. Which model handles this task, which one handles that. The interface is basically the remote control for the entire AI stack. So whoever owns the interface owns distribution, owns the workflow, owns the data on what developers are doing all day. And that kind of moat is very hard to beat with just a better model. Reason 3, the IPO. SpaceX is heading into what will probably be the biggest IPO in history. And the math here is interesting. A space company gets a space company valuation, but a full AI platform running on the world's largest GPU cluster with the fastest growing developer tool on top gets a completely different multiple. Cursor is already gross margin positive. $6 billion revenue run rate, a real healthy business. So adding it to the IPO story changes the narrative completely. From a rocket company to AI platform that also launches rockets. So this is not just a partnership. It's a well thought out move planned 3 steps ahead. Now, today we focused on why this deal matters and how Cursor works. But using Cursor well is a whole different game. I'm thinking of doing a proper Cursor deep dive next. Not the architecture, the actual tips and tricks that make senior engineers fast. How to set up your rules, how to structure your prompts, the common traps to avoid. If you want that video, drop a comment below saying Cursor deep dive. If enough of you ask, I'll make it next. And if you learned something new today, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.